Hi, it's me again with Corel tips and tricks. I'm not going to say you'll ever draw anything like this, but it's really pretty fun and pretty easy. And all I did was start with a big ellipse and an oval. And I am going to make a duplicate of that, alternate C to have it rotate from the center of the page. Well, that didn't work. Alternate, my alternate C is not working, so I'll have to reinstall it. So I'm just going to double click and put the rotation in the center. That's why I like it so much, because it's so easy. And we're going to rotate it 8 degrees. Then we're going to take this one again and we're going to go Control D, double click on the rotation, and I'm going to rotate it a -8 degrees. So I get this shape right here. I'm going to get rid of well, I'm not going to get rid of it because I need it in just a second. So I'm going to move it out of the way and I'm going to smart fill that right there. Now I'm going to take all these and I'm going to get rid of the outline. Now I'm going to nudge this back because I need the center. I'm going to make it that same blue. And I'm going to go ahead and mess with it with the interactive fill tool. I say mess with it, I just mean give a little color. So I'm going to put that blue on both ends. And then I'm going to put white in the middle or somewhere in the middle. And then I'm going to put blue really near to the white. So it kind of makes it just look like a shine or a sheen on that piece. Now I'm going to control, see, I see something over here. There's something, let me look at it under wireframe. Well, probably those circles are still there. You really ought to take the circles away when you're doing something like this. I get lazy sometimes. Let's go back to enhanced. And let's take this shape and move it out of the way and then grab all this. See, it's got 3 objects and delete it. That'll give you a cleaner surface and a better way to rotate. Control D, move the rotation to the center. I really miss my Control C. I mean, I can get it back in 2 minutes. I had to reboot yesterday. I'm going to rotate it 8 degrees. And by doing it 8 degrees, it's the same, so they're almost touching. So I'm going to Control D. I was fixing to say alternate C, and rotate it 16 degrees. And then just do that all the way around. Now I'm going to you know what? I don't want to get rid of my circle. I'm going to nudge my circle out of the way. And I'm going to group this together. For some reason, that's a lot darker blue than, yeah, I'm using somebody else's file that opened and it was CMYK, but that's fine. Now what I'm going to do, because this is a group, I'm going to Control D and I'm going to make it black, but it doesn't have the interactive fill tool. So what I can hopefully do is go to, I don't think this is going to, well, it's going to work. I'm going to get the attribute eyedropper and take a sample. And, well, it's only going to do that one. Well, you know what? Because maybe I haven't got, well, that's all a group. Well, we'll just do without that one. I'm going to go to object and order and backup page. I've still got it selected. It is circle, so it'll rotate. And I'm just going to rotate it 2 degrees. Or you could do 1 degree, and that's what you get. Now, it'd be a lot cooler if I had that. You know what? Let's just do it. That didn't take any time. Let's put it back to 0, and let's move this out of the way. And let's just redo this one. And because I'm nudging, I can put it right back in the center of the page. So I'm going to take all these and I'm going to go to group and ungroup all, or at least ungroup. And I'm going to keep the top one. So I'm going to get rid of all the other ones. So if you start doing this around them, then you can take your tool, your pick tool, and select more of them at one time. Now I'm going to use the interactive fill tool on it. Let's zoom in here a little bit. And you got to select it and then get the interactive fill tool, and we're going to do the exact same thing. Swipe across, put black on both ends, put a white in the middle. I think I hit a gray, but I'm going to get the white. And that would look pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and put black near it so it's just like a sheen. just like the other one. And I'm actually going to move it where it's in a different spot than my blue one. Now I can Control D and see without a circle, it's hard to find the center of the page. So what you can also do is bring in indexing lines and hit P. That's how I got the idea of see how far off I was? And we get that intersection. And then I'm going to rotate it. I don't know if I made a copy. I'm going to rotate it 8 degrees. I did. And I'm going to make a copy and rotate it 16 degrees. And then just do that all the way around. This would be a good one to use the transformation docker on. Let's get rid of our guidelines and let's group this together, Control G. And then let's move this one back. And, well, either one, I can rotate this one a negative 2 degrees and the black will show through and see the shine. And really 1 degree maybe would be better. So let's go, because it's going to make it look like a little bitty shadow on the object and make it kind of look like a mirror, like a piece of, like that's the edge of a piece of metal. I mean, that's my interpretation of it. You can think what it is for you. Let's bring in the black box effect. And you can't really see it because it's black. Well, I created that last, so let's take the black now, go up to object order, back a page, and now you can see that black edge just a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And this was just done kind of the same way, but not using all of it and using a different part of the circle. Not saying you'll ever draw that, but it might give you an idea or two. It looks pretty cool. Anyway, I hope that helped. Thank you for watching.